Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. Yesterday we had episode 5 of The Flash Season 5, which was otherwise entitled All Dolled Up, which had Ragdoll appear for the first time in live action, which was really cool to see. I think his powers were done in a fairly cool way with a mix of CGI as well as just practicality, because the guy that played him, which I think his name was Troy James, I think his name was a real life contortionist, so he could just put himself into weird positions, so it allowed them to do some really cool practical things and make it look, and it will make it look real, because it was real, it wasn't CGI, so that was really cool. But obviously he is taken down, or well, swallowed down by Ralph Dibny, aka the Elongated Man, right towards the end of the episode. Now, it was disappointing. I think everyone has made their voice clear on this. It was very disappointing that we didn't actually get to see them fight, because myself, I mentioned this in a couple of videos leading up to it, it'd be really cool if Elongated Man and Ragdoll fought, because, well, they don't have the exact same abilities, but similar abilities, like they're very flexible. So imagine a fight between them two, it'd be insanely crazy, like them climbing through an air vent or something, or just, it looked like one twisted game of, well, Twister, like it'd be insane just seeing them fight. But obviously it looks like the CGI budget for the episode must have gone to some various things earlier on in the episode, but also maybe Iris diving off the building at the end of the episode, maybe. So maybe that took some, I don't know, hard to tell. I don't know the budgetary reasons, but I think they missed an opportunity here. The only thing I can think of is that they might be saving it for maybe later in the season. That's a bit of a hint as to what's as to what we're going over in this video. But we saw Ragdoll sent to prison, or at least Ragdoll was sent to prison. We didn't see any of him actually being taken away and all of that. But the reason we didn't see him going into prison or anything like that is because it was actually a deleted scene. And well, here is that scene.
Get in there, freak.
Alone. Powerless.
We all are in here, brother. But see, you're wrong. You're not alone. Welcome to Metamax.
And who are you?
The name's Martin. There's lightning coming. And when it gets here, I promise it will. Best place to be is in the eye of the storm. With me.
So I cannot believe it. Like I repeat myself sometimes, but that's just because I'm in shock all the time. And I just cannot believe this was deleted. I cannot believe it. Yesterday's episode was a filler episode. We all know that there was some stuff relevant to the story arcs for this season, but for the main story, it's filler. Okay? Surely they could have cut, like, I could think of like 5 minutes of that episode, which probably could have been cut. And this scene was only about like 30 to 40 seconds long. What the hell, CW and Warner Brothers? Why was this scene cut? And this would have been the thing right at the end. So this would have been like the thing where the Flash logo appears and then they cut to this scene. So why didn't we get this? It almost seems like either the network forgot to put it on there, which can be the case. Got to be fair. That could be what happened there. Maybe they just forgot to put it on. Who knows? But it just seems like weird that this would be cut out. I cannot believe it, because, if the stuff that follows on in like future episodes, people are going to be like, wait, when did they tease this? This is a bit random. This is happening all of a sudden. It's because they didn't chuck in this end credit scene. So it just seems extremely random to me. But anyway, in that scene, we see Ragdoll going into his cell and he's encountered by a voice. So he's talking to himself, but then someone else replies. So he's encountered by a voice that belonging to Mark Martin, aka the Weather Wizard. And the Weather Wizard tells him there is lightning coming, and when it gets here, and I promise it will, best place to be is in the eye of the storm with me. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like that line. Now, I don't know if that was Liam McIntyre's voice. So Liam McIntyre plays Mark Martin, aka Weather Wizard. I don't know if that was him. That might have just been some like random voice actor. I might be wrong, but it sort of sounded like him, but it didn't sound exactly like him. So someone might have to clarify if that was actually him. But I guess the big question around this is like, what does this mean? Like, why? What are we meant to take from this? What do Ragdoll and Weather Wizard have to do anything? Like, they're in prison, so what's going on? Well, earlier on this year at Comic-Con, Todd Hill, being the showrunner or the executive producer for The Flash, did say that a new Rogue sort of team would be coming together at some point this season. Now, we weren't sure if they meant like new Rogues, because new Rogues is a thing, or they meant like a new Rogues lineup. So a Rogues lineup just of like some new members, maybe with some old members as well. So we were sort of unsure what they were doing there, but due to this sort of confirms that it's going to be a mix of the old Rogues and the new rogues as well, which I think is really cool because, you get some of that season 1 and 2 sort of flavor with those rogues mixed with some new entries from this season and maybe like season 3 as well. But yeah, here are our first 2 members of Ragdoll and Weather Wizard. Now, I guess the big question is who else could be, possibly joining this new rogues team up? Well, there is a couple of options, or actually a few options. I have 4 to write down, but obviously the big thing to remember is that we're only up to episode 5 for this season, so there's going to be more villains showing up this season that could, be a part of this. Like, I probably have 5 that I could mention. And, there's still a lot of this season to go. We don't know when these new rogues will necessarily be showing up this season. So there's a lot of time for various other villains to, appear in this season that could possibly be, recruited by Weather Wizard and possibly Ragdoll. So the first one is Mirror Master. Obviously, we saw Mirror Master in season 3. We know he is in Iron Heights, so it would be easy for him to, join this, especially if there is like some sort of breakout within Iron Heights. That just basically releases all these people, or, Weather Wizard is able to, get the word across, and maybe Mirror Master is one of the people that's listening, so he's a possibility. I think I'd like to see him back because I don't think they did justice with his abilities. They did some cool stuff, but I don't think they did as cool stuff as they could have possibly done. Like, we didn't get to see like the mirror world and stuff like that, or the mirror universe, whatever you want to call it. So I would really like to see that. So that's probably one reason I'd really like to see him back on the show. The next one is his partner in crime, which is Top. Top was done in a fairly interesting way. Like, they did change the abilities from the comics, where instead of literally just spinning around like a top, she sort of like messed with you and gave you like vertigo and just made you trip out and stuff. Like, I'm basically tripping out. You can't see me because I'm just talking to a microphone, but I'm trying to like replicate tripping out from, Top's abilities and stuff like that. So I think if Mirror Master gets out, I think it would make sense that Top would get out as well. But obviously this does rely on actor availability. That's one important thing to remember, but I'd like to see them 2 back as well. Another option is one of the tricksters, whether it be Axel Walker or Jesse James, or is it Jesse James, one of the 2, whatever, the Mark Hamill trickster. Either one of them would be cool. Obviously the preferred one would be the Mark Hamill one because we haven't seen him for a while. The last time we saw the Earth 1 trickster played by Mark Hamill was actually with Weather Wizard back in season 2. Obviously we did see him in season 3, but that was the Earth 3 version of the trickster. I think he was called the Jokester. I think that's what it was actually called. So it was almost like a mix of the Joker and the trickster. But that's when we saw Jay Garrick and Barry take him down. But either trickster I'm fine with just because it's an addition. But, if I had to make a preference, if someone had said, hey, Pagey mate, which one do you want the most? I'd have to say the Mark Hamill one because he's much cooler. Another option is possibly Spin that we saw in the previous episode to yesterday's episode. So in episode 4, she was there. The only issue with that is that she's not really a metahuman or that skilled. It was her phone that was doing everything, so she's gonna have to get her phone back. So Spin is an option. I don't know if it's necessarily a proper option, but she is an option. It is a villain that we've met this season. Like, Ragdoll's a part of it, so why not Spin? But another option is one that I've seen actually a lot of people say, not recently because of this, but it's been someone that a lot of people have wanted to see come back, and that is Abracadabra. So David Dastmalchian, who played Abracadabra back in season 3 of The Flash, has teased that he would love to return to the show, and was even talking about the 100th episode, which wasn't a thing. I think he did his interview like when they were filming the 100th episode, so that wasn't a possibility then. But yeah, he's like said that he'd love to return the show and like says the door's open for him to come back if they want him. So I wouldn't mind Abracadabra coming back. Obviously the big issue is that, he's went to Earth 19, wherever Gypsy's from, whatever Earth that is, Earth 19 I think it is. So he went to there because, Gypsy was, hunting him down, and obviously he is from the future. Like, that's a big issue. So there's the fact that he went to another Earth, but also his origin is from the future as well. So he would be a hard character to bring in, to be completely honest. But one other option is a character that we are meeting, well, next week, I guess, in episode 6 of The Flash, who is Icicle, who will be Thomas Snow, aka Caitlyn's father. So he could be an option. It matters what they do with his character. We can't really jump into it right now because who knows what's going to happen in episode 6. Flash might take him down, or he could fully on escape and just not be really tied in with these new rogues. But he is an option, and if they really wanted to, they could bring him in. But due to this tease, I did see a lot of people wondering if the new rogues, or this new rogues team up, would be the new big bads for this season. And honestly, I would probably say no. I just don't think they'd do a big villain team up as the big bads for a season. It can just be a bit messy. But maybe the full-on big bad for this season is the one that's working with them. Maybe he's the one that maybe gave some information to Weather Wizard, because it seems a bit weird that the Weather Wizard would talk about getting out. Like, how would he be able to get out? You know what I mean? Unless he can still use his abilities in prison, but it wouldn't make sense because I got dampeners everywhere and stuff like that. So that personally doesn't make sense to me. So you'd have to think someone's had a word to him, and is like there's a certain time and a day and a date where things are going to go down and they're going to be able to escape, and the new rogues are going to be able to run rampage. So yeah, I'm intrigued by that because I found that weird that where the wizard was talking about that, but you have to think there's someone on the outside that's working with him. So yeah, keep your eyes and ears out for possible hints as to who that could be. But if you do have any suggestions as to who that could be, let me know in the comment section down below. Obviously, Reverse Flash is a big option as to who could be, coming back into the end of this season. And obviously, he does have ties to the Rogues and stuff like that, so he could be an option. But overall, I actually really enjoyed this scene, this bonus scene that was uploaded. I can't believe it was deleted, but it does really open some doors and just get you excited because we are going to see Ragdoll back. I really enjoyed Ragdoll in yesterday's episode, but I don't think they used him to his proper potential. They could have done some more with him, but there's some other stuff going on that got highlighted for some reason. So yeah, they didn't really use him to his full ability, and also we didn't get a Ralph versus Ragdoll fight, sorry, but they might have been saving that because Ragdoll's going to be coming into the picture later on the season. So let's just hope that we finally get that elongated man versus Ragdoll fight, because I think it should be crazy. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on this. What do you think of that scene? Which new rogue members do you think would come in, and which ones would you like to see? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.